Welcome to This Explainer. Okay, we are about to completely shatter your trust in your own everyday perception. If you've always thought seeing is believing or that your senses give you this perfectly accurate window into the real world, well, you are in for a serious awakening. We're unpacking the profound illusion of perception today, and honestly, by the time we finish, you might not even fully trust the screen you're looking at right now.
So let's just dive right into this by starting with a really simple question about how you physically connect with the world around you. How many senses do you actually have? Just take a brief second to answer that in your head. Most people answer this instantly without a second thought, relying on the very first things they learned in biology class.
Most of us were taught in kindergarten that we have exactly 5, right? Sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch. But that fundamental assumption is off by a lot. You actually possess up to 20 distinct senses. Yes, 20. It's a massive upgrade to the basic 5 we always talk about, and it completely changes how we really need to think about our physical interaction with reality.
These extra senses include absolutely crucial, constant inputs like your sense of balance or your continuous temperature perception. You use these constantly, literally every single second of the day, just to survive and navigate the world. But here's the massive catch, and really the whole core of our topic today. Even though you rely on these extra senses constantly, your brain is actively lying to every single one of them. Your biological hardware just isn't delivering objective truth. Section 1. Your brain hallucinates reality, the best guess machine.
We naturally assume our eyes and ears act kind of like passive video and audio recorders, capturing this flawless live feed of the physical world. But that is completely false. Your brain doesn't capture the raw truth. Instead, it relies on what we call top-down knowledge. It takes the incomplete data coming in through your senses, aggressively consults its past experiences and expectations, and then presents you with a best guess of reality. You aren't experiencing the world exactly as it is. You're actively hallucinating the reality you experience based on what your brain just expects to be there.
Section 2. Seeing is not believing. Exposing the glitches.
First, consider the hollow face illusion. This is a classic, deeply fascinating example of your brain's top-down knowledge just entirely overriding actual physical reality. In this illusion, you look at the inside of a hollow mask. Now, the physical object is concave. It curves away from you. But your brain absolutely refuses to see it that way. Why? Because throughout your entire life, your brain has learned that faces push outward. It violently expects all faces to be convex. So it simply rejects the visual data from your eyes and forces you to see a normal, outward-pointing face. Your brain is literally editing the image in real time.
And this brilliantly illustrates the Ames room phenomenon. On one side, we have physical reality. Grown men standing in a heavily distorted, intensely angled room. But on the other side, that's your brain's best guess. Because your brain heavily expects architectural rooms to be perfectly square with parallel walls, it relentlessly applies that top-down knowledge to the scene. The result? It forces you to perceive the room as normal, which means it has to distort the people inside it to make its own math work. Think about that. Your brain would rather falsely believe a man has miraculously grown into a giant monster than accept the simple physical fact that a room isn't perfectly square.
Finally, we have the lilac chaser phenomenon. With this visual glitch, your eyes will literally invent and inject colors that aren't physically there, purely to fill in visual gaps. When you stare at this illusion, the physical light hitting your retina does not contain the color you end up seeing. But because your brain expects continuous patterns and just cannot handle the void of information, it simply fabricates a color and drops it right into your visual field. You are seeing a hallucination generated entirely on the fly.
Section 3. Vision as inference. Guessing in the dark.
Vision is inference rather than sight. As our source material reveals, this is the massive scientific reframe you need to take away today. Seeing isn't about passively watching a live video feed. It's an active, ongoing, computationally heavy process of making highly educated guesses about your environment. You are constantly inferring what's out there based on tiny fragments of physical data, heavily mixed with your brain's demands and expectations.
Section 4. The edge detection system. Exaggerating the world.
So, why would evolutionary biology design a cognitive system that fundamentally lies to us? Well, there's actually a brilliant life-saving mechanism at play here. Step 1. Light hits your flat, two-dimensional retina. Now you have to operate in a complex 3D world, but your biological hardware captures data on a 2D surface. That's a massive biological problem. So, for step 2, your brain deploys the edge detection system. This system deliberately lies to you. It intentionally exaggerates the contrast at the borders of different shades. It makes light edges look way lighter and dark edges look way darker than they actually are in physical reality. And why do this? That brings us to step 3, depth inference. By aggressively exaggerating those borders, your brain can quickly and effectively infer depth. It creates these visual lies so you don't trip over a 3D world while trying to navigate it using a flat 2D retina. At the end of the day, evolution prioritized keeping you safe and upright over showing you objective physical reality.
So, I'll leave you with this provocative final thought. If your brain casually creates colors that aren't there, forces concave masks to bulge outward against the laws of physics, and dramatically alters the physical sizes of grown men just to fit its preconceived architectural expectations, what else are you hallucinating right now? I highly encourage you to look around your room, look at the very screen in front of you, and realize that everything you perceive is just your brain's beautifully constructed best guess. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and definitely keep questioning the reality your brain serves up to you.